Welcome everyone to the weekly outlook. Been here from Elliott Wave Pro. Hope you're all enjoying your weekend and keeping safe. So on DXY, like I said last week, I'm looking for the same size correction as this to give us that Z down. Now, we're still in a wave Y. So, yeah, I have to take that into consideration. We still are in that wave Y. Go to H4. We can see we got a really nice structure in here. A, B, C, break the top, and I'm looking for this to come down and break that low. Come down and break this low over here. It hasn't done that yet. We do have the trend line break in here or in here. So I am looking for more downside to go and break this low. If we have a look on H1, now this can be a flat in here. This can be a bear flat in here. Bear running flat. And we've got a nice sharp move down. Now, if we get something like this, trend line break, little flag in here or whatever, you can look for that sell. This is looking like a bear flat in here. So we may be going to see some USD weaknesses at the start of the week. AU, again, this is looking like a flat in here. If we look on the daily, we've gone and broken this top over here. So I'm looking for that larger correction. H4, I'm looking for the B wave. Now, like I said last week, in a B wave, this top here can be broken for an A, B, C for a running flat or expanding flat. So we don't have a sell set up on it at this stage. But the larger impulse is going to be to the downside. As soon as this correction in here is over, all this is corrective. Whatever's happening in here, it's corrective. So eventually we are going to get that C down. And that's going to be the larger impulse. So as soon as this DXY is finished, I dare say we'll get that C down. If we go on to H1, I'm only really looking for sells because we're at a top and I'm looking for that larger correction on the daily. I'm only really looking for sells, but if you can identify structures, you can look for this bite because we could have an A, B, C in here and we go up and break this top. So we may get something like this. We've got an impulse up. If we get something like this, you get a trend line break and a little flag. You can look for that buy to go and break that top. As soon as this top gets broken or this top here gets broken, you definitely want to be, if you're in the buy, you definitely want to be at break even because eventually we are going to get that larger C down. I'm only really interested in the sells, but if you want to scalp the buys, you can. Being mindful that the larger impulse is going to be to the downside. EU, pretty much the same thing. We're in this corrective structure. I'm looking for this C down. H1. Now, again, this can be, you have to be a little bit careful because this B wave up here may not be over. This can be an A, B, C for an expanding flat. And we get one more up. So I am only interested in the sells. But so I really need a correction. We have broken this low over here. We had bearish divergence and we've got a lower low over here. So if we do get something like this, some sort of a corrective structure, trend line break, you probably have to go onto the M15 to get this trade. But yeah, if you get something like this in here, trend line break, look for that sell. You can, I wouldn't be going putting a sell stop here because it's a little bit dangerous. But yeah, be mindful if you want to wait for a nice sell setup before taking it, because this, like I said, this can be an expanding flat in here. If you do get correction in here, little flag in here, you can look for that buy, you can scalp that buy. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit dangerous. A large impulse is going to be to the downside. GU's a little bit unsure on this one. It's not really, it's unclear on the H1 at this stage, but I am on the H4. I am looking at this as a running or expanding flat, and we'll get that C down to, well, the 100 fib here, before we get any more upside. The large impulse is still going to be the C down before we get more upside. Now, I don't think this is over up here. So if we go down to H1, we do have bearish divergence. Now, if you look, H4, H1, so we haven't broken this top here, and we've got a deep impulse up. So sort of looking at it, we do have bearish divergence, so it's going to be risky to buy. But we got a one up here, impulse. So if we get a correction in here, another impulse up for a regular flat in here, another one down here. So we might get A, B, C, and then we'll get another one finishing off this B wave before we get that large impulse down. So this could become quite complex. If you have a look at this, we have a possible bear hidden divergence here. So between this low here and here, we have a bull hidden divergence. So you will have to be careful. More than likely, this top here will be broken. That's why I'm looking at that structure that I just showed you in here, to go up and break that top for an A, B, C, and then more than likely more upside. I'm only looking for the sells though. There is no sell set up on it at this stage. With that bare bull hidden divergence there, you really have to be careful. Looking for the sells until this top here has been broken. It didn't quite break the top. So until that top, if that top gets broken, then you can start to look for that sell. NU, if we go to the daily, we're in this wave Y. This can keep on just going up here slowly. Might get to the 123.6, it might get to the 161.8. We're at the 100 fib now. We go down to the H4. We had a nice correction in here, but like the AU, this one broke the top, but we can't rule out that this is a flat correction in here for an A, B, C before we get that larger move up. So this B over here may be over here, and this C over here. So we have to look at that structure. I mean, this you would have brought here, if for this ABC you would have brought in here, and you would have got that nice C up anyway. But looking at the structure, I can't rule out that this is the B over here. We get the C over here, and this is a larger correction. Okay, but we got that bearish divergence on the H4. You really, I'm only looking for the sell for this C down. So if we go to H1, I don't think there's any setup. There's no real setups there. We got a bull hidden here, bull hidden divergence in here. So expecting this top to be broken. Now, there is a chance on this one that because we have this bearish divergence here on the H1, you can, this, we got an A, B, C in here, a little expanding flat. So you can put a sell stop here and look for that trade down. You sort of want to be moving to break even around the trend line in case it just bounces off the trend line. But you can put a sell stop on this one against this high. If price this keeps on coming up here, breaks that high, well, you'll take that sell stop off and then look for another sell. But I think the larger trade is going to be to the downside, like on H4. We're going to get that C down. Eventually, we'll get that C down once this B wave's over. So, more interested in the sells. UY. I've had this idea out on TradingView for a while. There was a trade in there. Remove that. So I'm still looking for. We're getting this A, B, C. I'm looking for this C down as per the TradingView. This is your first target. This is your second target. Now, you sort of, there was a trade in here I took. That's at break even. Sort of, if you're going to be selling, you can sell the flag. But you're going to have to be careful now because there is no divergence. So if you do get flagged, you can sell. Get a little trend line break and sell. But look for yourselves. It's going to be hard now because you've missed the top basically. You really wanted to be selling up here, or this flag in here you could have sold. You need another flag to be able to sell. Like I said, I'm looking for these targets to be hit. First and second target. Here's your H4 target. You definitely want to be moving to break even or take half off at the first TP. Sheffy, again, pretty much the same as last week. I'm looking for this C up on the H4. Now we might be starting to get that. So if we go down to H1, again, like most of the others, this could be a flat in here. So you've got to be careful. You've got to wait for a nice buy setup. This could be a flat for an A, B, C. This B is not over and we get one more down. So you have to be careful of that. You have to be mindful of that structure. But if we get something, we got a nice impulse out. Now we do have bear hidden divergence here as well. So you're going to have to be careful. That's why it can be that flat because we do have that bear hidden. So you have to be mindful of that. But if I'm only looking for buys, so if I get the buy set up, we got an impulse up, we got an impulse down, we got another impulse. So this will give a correction in here, and then another move up for an A, B, C in here, and then we get the A, B, C. Look for the trend line break, bull flag, and buy. Okay, so that's sort of what I'm looking for. I'm only looking for the buys. I'm looking for the C's up. I'm looking for that larger the H4 wave Cs. A lot of people are getting cut to pieces because we're in corrections. So when we're in corrections, we get all the choppy movements, and that's where people trade in the B waves, and they get cut to pieces if they don't look at structure. And that's where you start to lose money. You lose money in the B waves. You make your money in these, in the A's and the C's, or the 1, 3s and 5s. Okay, so yeah, that's why a lot of people are losing money. If we have a look, because we're all in corrections. If we go back to the AU, you know, it's all corrective. So people are buying and selling, and they don't know what's going on. If you trade in the direction of the larger impulse, that's your best bet. So I'll be looking for any sell setups. Basically, I won't worry about this buy. I'll wait for the larger sell. Okay. So onto UCAD, like the U chef, I'm looking for that C up. So UCAD, again, same as last week. This one's probably a better trade because we got an A, B, and I'm looking for this C up. We go down to the H1. We do have a trend line break here. I'll just draw that a little bit better. So we got a higher high here. We got a higher high. So look for the whatever correction it gives in here. It might give it a little flat, or we don't know at this stage. But look for that buy. We don't know what sort of structure it's going to give in here, but whatever correction it gives in, just look for that buy. And this is a nice one because we've got that higher high. We've got that higher high on price action. So look for that buy. Gold, sorry. Like I've been saying, on gold, we're at a top. So I'm only looking for sells. Like if we look at the daily, you know, we're at a high here. So we're getting internal bearish divergence. So I'm only looking for sells. I'm not interested in the buys. Well, there has been buy setups that you can take, but they're more scalps. So this week I got into a sell up here somewhere, and I got taken out of break even. But I'm looking for sells. This one here, we can look at this as a flat here for A, B, and we're getting that C down. So if you get a little flag in here, you can look for that sell, and it'd be worth taking the sell if you do get a sell setup, because it may just bounce off this trend line here and go up and break this trend line, which is more than likely it will happen. But there is the odd chance that this will break through, give another larger correction or flag, and then keep on going because we're at such a high. I'm only looking for the sells. So you can look for that sell. If it does come out, break the trend line, well, you can go and look for that scalp, you know, but you're going to have to be careful buying up here. More than likely, because this is so choppy in here, it's more than likely we'll break the trend line and give us another one up. But yeah, I'm more interested in the sell setups. I'll go on to silver. I'll do silver this week for you. This one's looking a lot nicer. If you look on the daily, we're in a wave Y up, pretty much the same as NU. We got this WX. We're in the wave Y. We're getting bearish internal divergence here. So we're at the 100 fib. So we will, this might keep on going up to the 123.6 or keep on going up to the 161.8. I don't really want to, it's too high to start looking for your buys unless you're scalping. You know, you've missed the move. You know, this was your trade down here. So if we go on to the H4, we've got all this divergence here. So you don't want to be start to look for buys up here. Instead, you want to look for the sells. And we might have a nice setup here because we got a nice impulse down here. Nice impulse. Nice bear expanding flat. So you can put a sell stop on this one, just under this low for A, B, C. As soon as it gets to this trend line, you definitely want to be at break even because like on some of the others, as soon as it gets to this trend line, it can break up and break this top. So if you do take this trade, you definitely want to be at break even. But there is a chance, because this is at a high, it comes and breaks this trend line, gives another correction, larger flag or correction, and it continues down. So that's why we sort of want to be in this. If we get the setup to sell, you want to be looking for those sell setups. You want to be in those sells. WTI. If you've been following me for a while, I've been looking for this C down. We finally got that C down. So we got an A, B, C. Now, it didn't go down to my targets. I didn't share this in TradingView, but just into the room. I got in this sell down here, got nice profit, and now I'm in the buy because this may be over now. So I'll remove all this. So basically we've got a running flat in here. Remove. So we've got an A, B, C. If you get, I'm in the buy already, but it's a bit late to buy now. You need a flag to buy. So wait for a flag in here. You get a bull. If you get a bullish setup, buy. Looking for more upside. So we've got that H4 correction. So if on the H1, if you get these flags or correction, you want to look for the buy. There is a potential of bear hidden, but if you don't get that flag or the setup, you won't be in that trade. So yeah, if you get the buy setups, just look for the buys. Bitcoin. This is playing pretty nicely. Again, I'm looking for that C down like most of them. Been looking for this C down for a while. Bitcoin loves to give long drawn out corrections. Ever since I've been following it, it always has. It loves to give these long drawn out corrections, and the corrections are really choppy. So basically, now this B wave may not be over. I'll share this with you. This can be an ending diagonal here in the C, like in the B up. So this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off this B wave as a like ending diagonal. Okay, and then look for that sell down to the 100 fib. This 100 fib here will probably change if we get a higher high here. If this is an ending diagonal here, well, this 100 fib will change. So just be mindful that we can get another high up in here, but we're still going to get that C down before we go up and break that top. So if we go down to H1, we want to see what's happening on here. So we've got a trend line break in here. We got one down. So we get something like this. If you get the sell set up, look for the sell set up. Take the sells. I wouldn't be looking for the buys. I mean, there is a trade right now that you could. There is a little flag in here that you could take. Setting it by the time it gets on YouTube, by the time I upload it, it'll be over. But just for example, we know that we're going to get a C up here. Now, if you're looking for the buy, you could look for that buy in here. A little bit late now, but yeah, there was a little buy set up for the ABC, or up here, but there is a chance that it goes and breaks that top. So if you wanted to get in that, you know, you could look for that, because we are looking for that wave 5 up if it is a ending diagonal on the H4 to finish off that B wave. So we are looking for that top to break, and it may be finished. This may be all the correction in the second X, or the wave 4, sorry, or the wave 4. I don't think it is, but yeah, look for this. If you get up here, get a trend line break, flag in here, look for that sell. But that's the safest option, because on H4 we are looking for that C down. So you want to be trading in the direction of the higher time frames. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. Smash the like button if you like it, and share it to your friends. Like I've been saying, the more people, more followers and more likes I get, the more in depth I'm going to get into these analysis. So yeah, enjoy your weekend, rest of your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week. Enjoy.